aircraft.
Some aircraft like a Piper or anything, do they do special tools specifically for that manufacturer?
Specific. Oh, like tools for the aircraft?
Yes.
Oh, dear God, yes.
Okay.
This is where, if we teach you how to weld, machine, half of that is simply so you can make tools.
Okay.
It's like, yes, you have to make so many special tools. It is incredible. Like, the one I've got to make next is just for my airplane to rig the elevators. You have to take a bar and you have to have these two pins that are the exact same size, and specific size, and so many inches on center, and you got to drill this thing and make this tool just to clamp it into the stupid yoke so you can rig the tail, right? So that's a simple tool. Oh gosh, yes. Speaking of like Pipers, a lot of aircraft have bungee cords for their shot. You don't. And we had a special tool for doing that where I worked. Somebody made it, oh my gosh, 50, 60 years ago. It's made out of like a whole bunch of lead pipe and stuff and these funky things. But people would come from miles around like, hey, you can put bungee cords on. Yep, we got our special little tool. It took three of us to do it. So.
Do we have access to that shop even after we're
No.
alumni? No?
I have to say no.
Sometimes schools are like that, so I was like, oh,
Do it all before you graduate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Know what you're going to work on.
Yeah.
So I'm being recorded, so I have to say no. Definitely not. Okay, so this is going to be a first run through my example here. We'll see how it goes and see if I make any corrections. So we are going to compute current carrying capacity. So compute current carrying capacity for harness and altitude. All right, so here's my example. We have, because remember what we did last time was a simple what size wire works. And it was in a specific temperature range, but we learned how to manipulate that temperature, right, using the formula on that page. But it did not count for anything in a bundle, and it did not count for anything flying at a high altitude, correct?
Right.
Okay, so this is going to be that. So our example. We are going to have 10, a quantity 10 wires that are number 20, and that is a 200 Celsius degree rating. And we're going to have 25 wires that are number 22s. Is that bigger or smaller?
Smaller.
Okay, also with the 220 degrees Celsius. The ambient temperature is 60 degrees. We want an aircraft, I don't know, I think this example that literally came out of the book, is 60,000 feet. 60,000, it's like a SR-71 here, max altitude. So it's an aircraft that's rated to go to that. Because whenever you're working on an aircraft, you have to consider what is its rated, what is its ceiling. And so that's going to be in the pilot's operating handbook or manual for the aircraft, what is its service ceiling? And so you have to make sure you're up to that. So some stuff has to be given to you. Otherwise, it's pretty hard to figure this out. You have to start, and some of the stuff is 7 out of the 35, because there's 35 total. 7 out of 35, that is 20%. So 20% of the wires will be carrying current near rated capacity.
The ambient temperature, is that Fahrenheit?
Celsius.
Oh, Celsius.
What is 60 degrees Celsius?
Like something like 130 degrees.
Yeah.
Some crazy number like that.
140.
I'm trying to learn Celsius. I have two temperature things in my airplane. I keep one at Celsius, one in Fahrenheit. So I can keep looking back and forth, but it's not working. My grandpa didn't fight in World War II, so I use Celsius. Okay, so there's our given. Everybody follow what our given is?
Yes.
So we got wires in a bundle, so we can't use the charts we used the other day. You could have used those charts initially, but now we got to figure out what happens if we're in a bundle, so we got to change everything. So step one. So step one. Let's see. We're going to use figure 11-4 alpha to compute temp. To compute temp. I don't know if I'll be able to write all of this down as I do this. So 11-4 alpha, here's 11-4 alpha to compute the temp. So, looking at my notes here, and these charts are complicated, but they give examples in 4313 to help you use the charts. It's just very helpful if somebody shows you at least once or twice how to do it to help you. So rated temp minus ambient equals change. So in the given, what was my wire rated for?
60.
200 minus 60 equals 140. Which seems kind of weird. It's rated for 200, but yet it's 60. So anyway, this is the way that it worked for it. So so chart shows 140 intersects at number 20. I think they already had it, 140. So here's our temperature difference, wire rating minus the ambient, that's what it says. For 140, it's 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200. So 10, 20, 30, 40. So here's my 140. So all right, so 140. And then what number wire do we have?
22 and 20.
Okay, number 20. So so for some reason they we're doing this one here first. So 20. So chart shows 140 intersects number 20.
About 20 amps.
20 amps.
Right
Pretty much spot on, actually.
here. Oh, I hate it when it does that. Right there comes down to right here. So 20. Okay. 21.5. So 21.5. So that's for the number 20 wire. Then the 140 intersects the 22. Right there. Bring that down to right here, and that puts us at 16.2 amps. Okay, so we got that, step one. So that's going to be our derating, if you will, for the current carrying capacity. Follow? Okay. So we got,
That's saying that is lower amp than what it's
I believe that'd be lower amp, yes.
than what it would be capable of carrying it in just
Yeah,
open
yeah,
air.
if we just did open, well, this is open air so
Or-
far.
No other wires, not at altitude. Blah, blah, blah.
And this is
Yep.
continuous, presumably, too.
I believe. I don't remember the example. I think you get it off the charts first, then you get the wire that you're supposed to use. Now you start derating it.
Okay.
All right, then we're going to use figure, there you go, step one, step two. Use figure 11-5 to derate for bundle. All right, so we're going to go to that one. 11-5. Derate for the bundle. All right, so if we remember from our example, 7 out of 35 wires are near rated capacity. That is 20%. All right, that is 20%. So from the bottom, select 35 for the number of wires, even though my picture is probably covering it up right now. 35, so we select 35 wires. And rated capacity, that is 20%. So from the bottom, select 35 for the number of wires, go up to 20%. 20% is this line right here, so we're going to go 35 up to the first line right there. Go left till we get to right there, and we should end up to the left at 0.52. 0.52. So now we got 0.52. Step 3. derate the wires.
So then we multiply it by 0.52.
Okay, so the number 22 wire, what was it, 16.2 amps?
Yeah.
Okay. So multiply 16.2 times the 0.52 derating factor equals how many amps?
8.42.
We'll just say 8.4 amps. And the number 20 wire, what was that? 21.5? 21.5 times the derating factor of,
0.52.
is it 0.52? Oh, I wrote the wrong number there. Sorry. I did it right there. Was it both? It can't both. Was it both 0.52?
Yeah.
Okay, 0.52. Oh, that's right. I forgot. That
We
was
did
from
them
that.
together.
Yep, did them together. 0.52 equals 11.2 amps.
Would you realistically want to do them all together and then separate, or should you do, the bundle of?
I would follow this example exactly.
Very well.
Exactly how they did it. So, all right, so derate the wires. I guess that'd be derate for temp, right? Nope. Yeah, derate for bundle. Sorry, derate for bundle. I should write that. Derate wires for bundle. That makes more sense and keeps things. And derate wires for bundle. For bundle. There we go. Now we're going to derate for altitude. So step 4. What happened to step 4? Step 4. Derate for altitude. You guys with me? All right. So we're going to use figure 11.6. 11.6. 11.6 is here. All right, 11.6, 60,000 feet. 60,000 feet for the bottom, up to the curve. And then slide to the left for a derating factor of, we'll say 0.79, 0.79.
Where'd you get that?
Derating factor to here, off to the left.
Oh, when you hit the curve?
Right there. Yep,
Okay.
just go up to the curve and hit it. So 8.4 amps times, I'll go back to this. So 8.4 times my derating factor of 0.79 equals 6.6. And this times 7.9 or 0.79 equals 8.8. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Step 5. You're like, what does it ever end? Step 5. Find harness capacity. All right, so we have 25 wires. 25 number 22s, right? We have 25 number 22s
Yes.
times, what's the max I can carry? 6.6 times 6.6 amps equals, how many amps is that bundle carrying? 165 amps. And we have 10 number 20 wires times my derating factor of 8.8 amps equals 88 amps. All right, so add those two up. So the harness is running 253 amps. Good Lord, that's a lot.
Well, that's what it's rated to. Right?
That's what it's rated at. But how many of them are running at capacity?
70%.
What percent?
20%.
All right, times 20%.
50.6.
50.6 amps. So it's running 50.6 amps. Therefore, this harness should not exceed 50.6 amps.
Can you scroll up a little bit so I can see like the steps as well? So, step, like, or scroll up to like, just, so it's step 2.
That's a lot. So if you were like, oh, okay, well, I found out that this is going to be drawing more than 50.6 amps, and this thing's going to go 60,000 feet. You have to beef up. How we figure out which wires to beef up? Just beef them all up.
Step 6.
Step 6.
The step 2 and 3.
Calculate the amps being carried for each wire and verify each wire and bundle do not exceed calculated values in step 5 through 6. Verify each wire does not exceed values in step 5 through 6.
And I was going to say step 2 and 3 kind of seem like they're the same as each other when you wrote it down.
Step 2. For the bundle, step 1, it was temperature.
Yeah, and then step 2 was figure 11.5 to derate for bundle.
We started with temperature,
Yeah, temperature we did. And then
got our
bundle.
amps, 21 and 16. Then we derated it for the bundle, then derated it for altitude.
Step 2 was finding the derating, and step 3 is to derate. So it's
Find the rating.
You have to do it in that order.
This is the order that it is printed in AC 4313, and it seems like it would be the most sense because the first thing we did is we did an ambient temp change and we ended up with 21.5 and 16.2, and we went with those numbers. So I think if we did it any other way, we wouldn't start with the 21.5 and 16.2.
Pretty much what makes our biggest impact and then work from there.
Yeah.
The smallest impact.
Yeah. So anyway, that is there. And if I'm not mistaken, they give you examples in 4313 to run through this, which is where I think I got all this to begin with. And I think I even used their examples to help you through this. So it's not like I would expect you to memorize this at all. But it's there, and you need to understand it, at least know it's there. If nothing else, I want you to go, there's more to it than just those two charts. And just go, there's more to it, right? Because there is more to it than just these two charts. But if you can handle these two charts, you're well on your way. And I believe that's where you're going to be held to accountability for your FA tests. So it's where I'm going to hold you accountable. And that would be everything on this, which includes not only figuring out the amp carrying capacity of a wire or running it backwards, if I have, which is stupid. If I have a wire that's X number of feet, what is the max amperage I could use? I don't know why you do that. I guess if you're converting from an LED to a regular bulb or something. Will this work? But you also have to be able to manipulate that temperature formula down here without any problem, and all the instructions are right there. Like I said, it's just one of those things, once somebody walks you through it, makes it much, much easier. So, but that chart you have to do.